Assalamualaikum, my name is Siti FARISHA AMIRAH binti ZULKIFLE. My matric number AP190478.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is FIRDAUS bin YUSOF. My matrix number is AP190480.
My name is ZIKRI bin CHAIRUSSALAM. My matrix number is AP190198.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad ZUHAZLI bin Mazin. My matric number is AP190225.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is HIDAYATIE binti SAZALI and my matric number is AP190118.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Ibrahim bin Bukhari and my matric number AP190376.
First, we are going to present the introduction. Aqar Healthcare Real Estate Investment Trust was established on June 28, 2006, made between Damansara Real Estate Investment Trust Manager Cynthia Berhad and Amanah Raya Trustees Berhad. The objective of Aqar Healthcare Real Estate Investment Trust is to provide unit holder with stable distribution per unit with the potential for sustainable long-term growth of such distribution and the net asset value per unit. One of the policy Aqar Healthcare Real Estate Investment Trust is to diversify its Sharia compliance real estate portfolio by property and locations, primarily be focused on investing in healthcare related real estate and to look for opportunities that provide attractive returns.
YNH Property is term for the founders, which is Dato' Yunehwat. It has been founded in 1982 in the small town of Sitiawan, Perak. In 1998, YNH Property has completed their 5,000 units of property, and according to that performance, they have been listed on Stock Exchange Bursa Malaysia in 2003. YNH Property Berhad expanded its operation to Kuala Lumpur in 2006. This company has been set their vision is enriching the life and the future of people and the companies, and their mission is by building on trust and forming a stable partnership with our stockholders, and also they want to identify and provide lifestyle solutions that cater to different needs.
Like all great things, everything begins with an idea. LBS Bina began with one main idea, was founded by Datuk Sri Lim Bok Seng in the 1960s, whereas the company ventured into the construction businesses in a small town called Petani Jaya. LBS Bina strives to push the boundaries in advancement in construction technology and keep up with the ever-evolving trend in architecture design. LBS Bina Group Berhad vision is to be an internationally recognized developer enhancing community living by building and inspiring delightful spaces, while the company vision is to consistently deliver exceptional performance through progressive creation, realizing value to all stakeholders, enriching community at large.
This graph shows that in 2018 and 2019, Aqar Healthcare and LBS Bina Group are able to pay off their short-term debts, while YNH Property Berhad is less able. In this graph, as we can see, 2017 to 2019, Aqar Healthcare have the lowest average collection period, while LBS Bina Group have the highest average collection period. This means that the average collection period for Aqar Healthcare is at a good level compared to LBS Bina Group and YNH Property Berhad. Total asset turnover, as we can see in 2017, 2018 and 2019, the total asset turnover for LBS Bina Group is the highest compared to Aqar Healthcare and YNH Property Berhad, while Aqar Healthcare has the lowest total asset turnover for all 3 years. This means that LBS Bina Group have efficiently using its asset to generate sales compared to Al-Aqar Healthcare and YNH Property Berhad.
Debt ratio is a measure of a business's financial risk. The risk that the amount of business's assets may not be sufficient to pay off its debt and benefit. Debt ratio are also an important indicator of the long-term financial viability of our businesses. For the comparison, LBS Bina Group recorded the highest debt ratio, which is 0.65, while Al-Aqar Healthcare only 0.406, which is the lowest in 2017. In 2018, also LBS Bina Group recorded the highest debt ratio, which is 0.68 compared to the other two companies. The second higher debt ratio in the time is Al-Aqar Healthcare Reit, which is 0.400. Then it's followed by YNH Property 0.59 in that year. For the record, LBS Bina Group still recorded the highest debt ratio, which is 0.66 compared to Al-Aqar Healthcare 0.427 and YNH Property 0.50 in 2019. The very low debt ratio is good because the company assets are sufficient to meet its obligation. This may indicate the use of underutilized financial resources, which can lead to limited growth. Although a very high debt ratio indicates a high risk for debt holder and equity investor. Due to the high risk, company may not be able to obtain financial wealth or maybe not be able to raise more money at all.
Equity. It measures the relative proportion of total liabilities and common stock equity used to finance the firm's total assets. Then, it is a measure of the degree to which a company is financing its operations through debt versus wholly owned funds. It reflects the ability of shareholder equity to cover all of outstanding debts in the event of a business downturn. The debt to equity ratio's formula is total liabilities divided by common stock equity. Next, the table shows that the LBS Bina Group recorded the highest ratio of debt to equity in 2017, which is 1.89, followed by YNH Property, which is 1.35, and followed by the Al-Aqar Healthcare Rate, which is 0.69. In 2018, LBS Bina Group still recorded the ratio highest debt to equity, which is 2.09, and follows by YNH Property, which is 1.44. Meanwhile, Al-Aqar Healthcare Rate recorded the lowest ratio of debt equity, which is 0.67. In 2019, LBS Bina Group still recorded the highest ratio debt to equity, which is 1.94, followed by the YNH Property, which is 0.99, and Al-Aqar Healthcare, which is 0.74. The value of 1 means that half of the assets of a business are financed by debts and half by shareholders' equity, while the higher than 1 means that more assets are financed by debt than those financed by money of shareholders and vice versa. Al-Aqar Healthcare Rate shows the lower values of debt to equity ratio, and this shows us that these companies are favorable, indicating less risk, while the higher debt to equity ratio, which is shown by LBS Bina Group, is unfavorable. This is because that this company relies more on external lenders, thus it is at higher risk, especially at higher interest rates. The next one is gross profit margin. Gross profit margin is an important concept because it shows us management and investors how efficiently the business can produce and sell products. And it also a key measure of profitability by which investors and analysts compare similar companies and companies to their overall industry. The higher the gross profit margin, the better because the company did well in managing its cost of sale. It also shows that the company has more to cover for operating, financing, and other costs. The gross profit margin formula is gross profit divided by sale. From the table, we can see that Al-Aqar Healthcare Reit has the highest gross profit margin in 2017, 2018, and 2019. In 2017, Al-Aqar Healthcare Reit has the highest gross profit margin ratio, which is 93.5%, followed by YNH Property, which is 44%, and LBS Bina Group, which is 27%. In 2018, Al-Aqar Healthcare Reit also stayed the highest gross profit margin ratio, which is 94.1%, followed by YNH Property, which is 36%, and LBS Bina Group stayed 32%. In 2019, Al-Aqar Healthcare Reit still recorded the highest gross profit margin ratio, which is 95%, followed by YNH Property, 45%, and LBS Bina Group stayed by 28% only. This gross profit margin indicates that the percentage of Al-Aqar Healthcare Reit revenues left over after they pay direct costs and represent profit before other expenses are paid.
Margin measure the percentage of each dollar of sale remaining after all costs and expense, including interest, tax, and preferred stock dividend has been reduced. Based on the graph, the highest of net profit margin in 2017 is YNH Property with 8.0%, Al-Aqar with 7.58%, and LBS Bina Group with the lowest percentage with 5.19%. For the next year, Al-Aqar became the highest percentage with 9.33%, followed by YNH Property with 8.3%, and the last one is LBS Bina Group with 4.93%. On 2019, Al-Aqar became the highest with percentage 7.35%, then LBS Bina Group which is 2.97%, and the last is YNH Property with 2.1%. With the comparison, it can be seen that Al-Aqar Healthcare Company has good potential to attract external investors as well as shareholders of the company to stay and grow compared to LBS Bina Group and YNH Company. Return on asset is an indicator of how profitable a company is related to its total asset. ROA gives a manager of investor an idea as to how efficient a company's management is at using its asset to generate earnings. On 2017, Al-Aqar get the highest return on total asset than other companies when they stayed 4.85%, while LBS Bina Group got 1.76% and YNH Property got 1.4%. On the next year, Al-Aqar still leading by 6.06% and followed by YNH Property with 1.34% and LBS Bina Group with 1.26%. On 2019, Al-Aqar still on the top by gaining 4.66% and followed by YNH Property with 3.33% and LBS Bina Group with 1.96%. Investors will say that Al-Aqar Healthcare can make more profit than other companies, and it is the most suitable company to invest on. Return of equity is determined to show the efficiency of equity used to gaining profit. We can see how the company manages their equity to gain profit and make sale. Company needs to use the optimum value to get the best return on equity to make sure stakeholders trust that they can manage their capital well to gain profit. In those 3 years, Aqar get the highest return on equity on 2017 and 2019. In 2017, they got 8.17% and followed by LBS Bina Group with 5.09%, and the last place is YNS Property with 3.3%. On the next year, LBS Bina Group lead by 3.9% and followed by YNS Property with 3.27%, and Aqar declined with 1.01%. On 2019, Aqar back to the top with 8.13% and followed by YNS Property with 6.63% and LBS Bina Group with 2.69%. Inconsistency of Aqar Healthcare on these 3 years is not good for the return of their common stakeholder, but among all these companies, they are the best to manage their equity to gain the profit.
Last part is conclusion. The numerical values that taken from financial statement and financial ratios are to obtain information about company. The figures found on the financial statement of a company such as balance sheet, income statement and cash flow statement are used to conduct quantitative analysis of a company. In order to identify whether a company does better or worse than the industry average, financial ratios are contrasted with those major rivals. The first financial ratio is current ratio. Based on the data obtained, LBS Bina Group recorded the highest current ratio compared to YNH Property and Aqar Healthcare Real Estate Investment Trust. But in 2018 and 2019, Aqar Healthcare Real Estate Investment Trust have been recorded the highest current ratio among other companies. Next is average collection period. Aqar Healthcare Real Estate Investment Trust have the lowest average collection period for 3 years compared to the others. This means that Aqar Healthcare Real Estate Investment Trust is at the good level compared to LBS Bina Group and YNH Property. For the total asset turnover, LBS Bina Group have recorded the highest total asset turnover for the years of 2017, 2018 and 2019, while Aqar Healthcare Real Estate Investment recorded the lowest total asset turnover for 3 years. This means that the LBS Bina Group used their asset efficiently to generate sales. Next is debt ratio. From 2017 until 2018, Aqar Healthcare Real Estate Investment Trust recorded the lowest debt ratio, while LBS Bina Group have recorded the highest debt ratio. This means that Aqar Healthcare Real Estate Investment Trust assets are sufficient to meet its obligation. Next is debt to equity. The lowest debt to equity from years 2017 until 2019 have been recorded by Aqar Healthcare Real Estate Investment Trust, followed by YNH Property and LBS Bina Group. This shows us that Aqar Healthcare Real Estate Investment Trust are favorable, indicating less risk. Others than that is gross profit margin. Gross profit margin that have been recorded for Aqar Healthcare Real Estate Investment Trust is the highest compared to the YNH Property and LBS Bina Group. This shows that Aqar Healthcare Real Estate Investment Trust did well in managing its cost of sales. For the net profit margin, in 2017, YNH Property have recorded the highest net profit margin, followed by Aqar Healthcare Real Estate Investment Trust and LBS Bina Group. But in 2018 and 2019, Aqar Healthcare Real Estate Investment Trust have recorded the highest net profit margin compared to YNH Property and LBS Bina Group. For the return on asset, from 2017 until 2018, Aqar Healthcare Real Estate Investment Trust have been recorded the highest return on total asset compared to the YNH Property and LBS Bina Group. This shows that Aqar Healthcare Real Estate Investment Trust is profitable than others. The last financial ratio that we have compared is return on equity. In year 2017, 2018 and 2018, Aqar Healthcare Real Estate Investment Trust is the best company that manage their equity to gain profit compared with YNH Property and LBS Bina Group. From the comparison, we can conclude that Al-Aqar Healthcare Real Estate Investment Trust Company has the good potential to attract investors compared to LBS Bina Group and YNH Property.